Everybody, children, how are you all? I hope you are doing well with your holidays, spending time with your family members, enjoying games, reading knowledgeable books, right? I know you are enjoying this time. Okay, children, today we will start our biology session with a very interesting topic which you all love it. Okay, let's start. Before starting the session, I would like to ask you one question. How do you get energy, children? Yes, we get energy through food. When it is coming to food, from where do we get food? From plants. Yes. So we get food from plants. Today we are going to deal with nutrition. Chapter Nutrition. There are two types of nutrition. One is autotrophic nutrition and another one is heterotrophic nutrition. Let me make you clear what is autotrophic nutrition and what is heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is the nutrition which will prepare the food by its own. For example, plants will do the autotrophic nutrition with the process known as photosynthesis. So this will do autotrophic nutrition. Example is plants, and some of the bacteria will also perform photosynthesis like algae. So this will prepare their own food, and these are specifically green in color. Green is a symbolic color for chlorophyll. Green is a symbolic color for chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green color pigment which is present in a cell organelle known as plastid. There are many types of plastid. In that plastid, in chromoplast, this chlorophyll pigment is present, which gives green color to the plant. This chlorophyll helps in the preparation of food. So let's go with the photosynthetic equation. 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O in the presence of light and chlorophyll give rise to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. O2 is liberated in the atmosphere. This equation was found by Van Niel. And O2 liberating in the atmosphere, that means plants are giving us oxygen, we are getting that oxygen. That was found by Robert Hill, scientist known as the Robert Hill. So this is heterotrophic nutrition. When we are coming to autotrophic nutrition, this is autotrophic nutrition. When we are coming to the heterotrophic nutrition is a nutrition where the organisms depend on autotrophs for the food. For example, animals do heterotrophic nutrition. Human beings, we do heterotrophic nutrition. We don't have chlorophyll, right? We can't prepare our own food and we can't eat. We can't do photosynthesis. So we depend on plants. We depend on plants for our food, for our daily needs, for our food, everything, whatever it is. So we all come under heterotrophic nutrition. Many of the organisms, animals, human beings, everybody will do the heterotrophic nutrition. So today our challenge is we are going to deal with the autotrophic nutrition only. So when you clearly observe this equation, children, here you can see that photosynthesis is done by some of the products which they are getting from the environment. So they are taking carbon dioxide. Plants are taking carbon dioxide and water in the presence of light, sunlight. Okay, they are taking sunlight. And they are having a pigment known as chlorophyll. So the end products of this, that means they will use carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, chlorophyll, everything, and they will prepare glucose, C6H12O6. It is nothing but the glucose. Glucose is nothing but the starch. It is nothing but the starch, food. So food is prepared in the form of starch in the form of glucose, that is nothing but starch in the plants. And of course here we can see it is water molecule, 6 molecules of water. When I speak about water, early morning when you see a plant, you will see droplets of water exuding out of the water, like small droplets of water you can see. That process is known as transpiration. Excessive water from the leaf is released out, and when the excessive water is coming out in a form of a big droplet, that phenomena is known as guttation. Okay, that phenomena is known as guttation. And when you see here you can see it is oxygen which is liberating out, and we are taking this oxygen, and plant is intaking all the atmospheric carbon dioxide which is released by us through exhalation, and environmental carbon dioxide also it will take, but after that it will also release oxygen which is used for all of us, right? Yes. So now we will deal an experiment how to know that starch is present in the plant. All the green color parts of the plants will contain starch, but we are going to do one activity to see that how starch is produced in the plant. Okay, now we are doing an experiment. Our main concept today is doing presence of starch activity. Okay, for this children, I want everybody to open your books and draw this diagram along with me, presence of starch. After that, I'll explain you the experiment. Okay children, this is our apparatus required to test the presence of starch in leaf, in plant. So first step, whenever we are starting an experiment, we have to follow 5 basic steps. They are nothing but aim, apparatus, procedure, observation, result. So they are nothing but the 5 basic steps to start an laboratory activity are aim, apparatus, procedure, observation and result. Let's start with the aim of an experiment. So aim of an experiment is to prove the presence of starch in the leaf. Yes, this is the aim of the experiment. Next, apparatus. Apparatus are nothing but materials required for the experiment. So when we go in detail and see what are the materials required, we have to write the list of the materials required in the apparatus section. What are those? When you observe here, we have taken a beaker. Beaker, it is a material, apparatus. Water, beaker is filled with the water. We have arranged a test tube here. In the test tube, there is a leaf. And this test tube is filled with methylated spirit. Here you have a petri dish. And this is the iodine bottle, and this is the leaf again here. And this is a stand, tripod stand. Tripod stand. And this is asbestos gauge, okay? So children, this is the apparatus required here. Coming to the procedure, how we have to follow the procedure. So when you are coming to the procedure, take a beaker. Take a beaker. See, this is a beaker. So beaker is filled with, when you observe this beaker is filled with a water. This beaker is filled with a water. See, you can see the water in a blue color, right? So I am coloring it for you so that you can understand very clearly. So this beaker is filled with the water. So in the beaker, we have kept one test tube. This test tube is filled with methylated spirit. This test tube is filled with methylated spirit. In this test tube, we have kept one small fresh leaf. Fresh potted leaf. That means it was in sunlight. If the potted plant is in sunlight, it can easily perform the photosynthesis. That means it has much amount of starch. Okay. So here we have taken a small leaf and inserted in this test tube, which is containing methylated spirit. And we have arranged this whole beaker on the apparatus. Okay. Now, before heating it in a methylated spirit, we have to heat the leaf. We have to boil the leaf nicely in the water so that the leaf will become tender. And how can you test? The reagent test present of the starch is iodine solution. When you are applying iodine solution to the leaf can easily absorb the iodine solution. So before heating in a methylated spirit, we have to heat the leaf first in the water, plain water. After that, take that leaf and keep in the test tube which is containing methylated spirit, and insert the test tube into the beaker which is containing water and heat it. Why we are not keeping this leaf directly into methylated spirit? Why we are not spreading methylated spirit in this beaker? Because methylated spirit is nothing but it is ethyl alcohol. It will directly catch the fire. Alcohol definitely, right? It will directly catch the fire. So in this position we have arranged and we have nicely heated this leaf. So but what is the purpose of heating leaf in methylated spirit is we are removing chlorophyll. That means we are removing green color from the leaf. So that means we are doing decoloration. Okay, so that the green color is removed. Why we are removing green color? Because when you are adding iodine solution, if the green color is there, we would not get a good result. So the result we are expecting here is blue-black color. So this chlorophyll should not interrupt the color over here. So in this way we can easily remove the color of the leaf. After that, take a leaf and keep it on a petri dish like this. That means, see here, this leaf is green color. After heating in a methylated spirit, this green color leaf is turned into pale color. Are you able to see this pale color leaf? Yes. So petri dish is nothing but you will find this in your laboratory, science laboratory. It's a small dish like thing to do any experiment. So you will keep this leaf on that petri dish and drop 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution. If iodine solution is not there, you can use betadine solution. Okay, in the absence of iodine, you can't use both the solution, any one solution, your choice. So as soon as you add the iodine solution, the leaf will turn into blue-black color. That will be your observation here. So as soon as you are adding the iodine solution on the leaf, which is pale color, this leaf will turn into blue-black color. That means, what is the result of the experiment last step? That means this leaf contains starch. If the leaf is containing starch, then only it will change into blue-black color. By this we can confirm, or by this we can conclude that yes, this leaf is containing a starch. Okay. So, do you think the potted plant which is kept in a dark, which is destarched, how can you destarch a plant? By keeping it in a dark for 3 days, you can easily destarch. Again, when you test it like this, do you think you will get blue-black color at the end? No, because already we have destarched. What is the main thing which is allowing the starch to form in the plant? It is nothing but sunlight. So when you are destarching the plant, you are removing the potted plant from the sunlight and you are keeping it in dark for 2 to 3 days. That means there is no starch. There is no starch, and hence it will not turn into blue black color because it do not have any starch. So this is your experiment. So aim is to prove that starch is essential, starch is present in the leaf or not. We have gone through all the apparatus. You know what are the materials required here and procedure. First we have to heat the leaf in the boiling water so that it will become tender to absorb iodine. Next we will heat it in a methylated spirit so that to remove the color chlorophyll. After that we have tested with the presence of iodine. We have used 2 to 3 drops of iodine, and this was the observation, like it was observed that the leaf turned into blue black color, and final result will be hence starch is present in the particular leaf. So while doing this experiment you should be very careful. What are the precautions for this experiment? So as you are using here Bunsen burner, children, here you have a fire, right? So when you are doing it in a laboratory, be very careful. You do the experiment with 1 foot distance so that it will not harm you. And when you are using methylated spirit also, be very careful because it's an alcohol. Don't use so much of methylated spirit, only half of the test tube. Be very careful. When you are keeping the beaker on the asbestos stand also, be very careful because these are all glass made, right? And even iodine also, don't use so much of iodine. It will not help you. Clear? So in this way, I hope you understood this experiment, and today you are going to write homework on this experiment. My question is, write a brief notes on the lab activity presence of starch. How do you start writing any experiment? You have to start with these basic steps: aim, apparatus, procedure, observation and result. I hope you understood the class. Thank you.